What's up, everybody? This is Tony Todd. You're listening to Sammy Speaks Geek. Sammy Speaks Geek. This is Tony Todd.
See, I wasn't lying when I said that Tony was gracious enough to do the intro. Back in the day, my podcast was, I had just a podcast, it was just video. And I worked with Tony Todd for my very first convention that I volunteered for, and he was such a sweetheart, so different than the Candyman persona or any of the other evil characters he played in. He did that for me, so I thought it was only appropriate to have him open the show for me tonight. I would love to keep this background up, but I have a feeling it's going to drive everybody crazy. I just added it right before the show started, and it's not working, and I am so sorry. Let's see. I'll just flip back to the usual. See if that's any better. And it's actually not. I wonder if it's the light I turned on. No. That is so weird. It's just being really goofy tonight. But look who decided to drop by. This is the one and only Lord Darth Vader, who I just adopted just over a week ago. So say hello, Vader. He is an absolute wonderful lap cat. I love him so much. So anyway, hello everybody. Hello Casbar and Chris and Jen. And I can't believe it's getting to the point where it's getting hard for me to say personal hellos to everybody because you're all here so early. Chris, of course, and Dave and all you other, and Robert. Hi, welcome back. Hope Rhode Island Comic-Con went well. New Jersey, trek to New Jersey was fantastic, except obviously, unfortunately, waking up to the news of Tony Todd's passing. Anybody that was able to catch me going live during the weekend knows that I actually realized that Tony and I met. That was the building where East Coast Comic-Con used to be. It was my very first convention that I volunteered for back in 2017, and that's where Tony and I met. He was a fellow Patriots fan because he was born and raised in Connecticut, so that's one of the things that we bonded over. The other thing we bonded over was that he worked with Christopher Reeve. Not too long before his accident, Chris and he did a mini series called Black Fox, which is available. It was available on Amazon. That's how I got it. And he honestly didn't believe me when I told him I had the DVDs. And so the next time I saw him, which was at Monster Mania, just down the street from me in Cherry Hill, I went and I couldn't find the DVD. I didn't take all of the DVDs. I just took the box and I showed him the box. I'm like, I told you I had the box set. He actually followed me that weekend. I followed him on Twitter and he actually followed me back. He was so sweet. He was just such an amazing soul. I remember having some really great conversations with him between guests. And like I said, he was so gracious and so funny and just really, really fantastic. And when I got home last night from Star Trek, I actually decided to sit down and watch Candyman 3. Why 3? Because Robert O'Reilly is in it. So guess what I figured out watching it last night? Turns out Galron's gotten killed by both sons of Moog because, hey, Slack Twaddle, good to see you. But Galron has been killed now by both sons of Moog because Worf killed him in Deep Space Nine and Tony Todd killed him in Candyman 3. So he got it from both sides. How cool is that? Don't step on the... this is what I deal with all day. He gets tired of sitting on my lap and he'll get up and walk right across the keyboard. Grogu, my other cat, Grogu, loves to walk across my laptop. No matter how much room I make for him downstairs between my lap, he's not a lap cat. I make all this room between my lap and the laptop, so he has all this space to sit down. He still tries to sit down on the damn laptop. He put it into sleep mode tonight, so I had to close it, but luckily I was pretty much finished with it. Oh, yep. And notice I have to get this added to my punkarmy.net store, but I do have NX7062. The hat is available for purchase. I'm going to have them add that to the store. I was having a bad hair day and I'm like, I should wear my hat Don't step on the keyboard, Vader. He's great. I love him. I'm so glad I picked him up. He fit in right away. Had no problems. I actually didn't isolate him because I didn't want to leave him in the bedroom for a weekend while I was up in Jersey. So I thought, let's just see if he up in North Jersey. I keep doing that. I live in New Jersey. I'm only an hour and a half away from Secaucus. Anyway, you can't see my eyes, so let me tip this back a little bit. That's better. So anyway, so let's see. So Tony Todd, amazing. The other thing I realized, besides working with all the amazing people on Deep Space Nine and TNG, he was also in an episode of Night Court. So he actually worked with a fellow Klingon, because he actually not only, and I can say this because he literally had one scene in Night Court as the building manager for the courthouse. And at the time, Dan Fielding was living in his office while he was looking for another apartment. So Tony Todd came to warn him that if he didn't move out of his office was going to be in the basement. Literally one scene. The one scene he had was with somebody else that ended up in Star Trek. So I always thought that. I just thought about that. That was pretty cool. If you have never watched anything Tony Todd has done outside of Star Trek, I highly recommend that you go to his IMDb page and pick anything except shadow puppets. This weekend I was out. We went out for hibachi dinner on Saturday night with my friend Andy and a couple of her friends. And we were talking about Tony and just his huge career. And I had said something about him doing something. And she's like, well, let's see. So we started scrolling through his IMDb page. And of course, there's so much. He did voices for some Star Trek video games. He was, just this fantabulous career, mostly horror. But anyway, he did this really great, really kind of cool horror movie spoofish kind of thing with one of the Coreys. I think it was Corey. I want to say Hain. Whichever Corey was in Friday the 13th was the Corey he worked with. Anyway, so I'm scrolling, and we're going, oh, he was in that. Oh, he was in that. Oh, yeah. And then we hit Shadow Puppets, and I'm like, oh God, I forgot he was in Shadow Puppets. And I told Andy, I'm like, it's bad. And she's like, bad, good. I'm like, no, just bad. Do not watch anything else he has done. Do not watch Shadow Puppets. It's confusing. It's terrible. The only reason I watched it was because, believe it or not, Jolene Blalock was in it. And I think I watched it for a Halloween thing a couple years ago because I was like, oh, Jolene Blalock. I want to see something else that Jolene's done. James Marsters from Buffy, Tony Todd, Jolene Blalock, and it was confusing and horrible. And hi, Ed, good to see you. Thanks for joining us. I know, I'm terrible, but Jen, if you watch it, do not say you have not been warned. Seriously, you've been warned that it's just bad. I get wanting to watch it. It's bad. It's just bad. Yeah, I do French manicures every now and then. I actually did this because I'm going to be honest, when I was at the Hollywood show, I was figuring, since I was there as a booking manager and a rep for John, I should do something a little more traditional than my normal options. So yeah, I did. And these aren't actually painted; they're glued. They're actually falling off. I need to replace them, but they're my French manicure. That's what I love. They're my French manicures. They're Kiss. It's like $8. Glued them on right before I left. So yeah, but you're right. I don't do French manicures a lot. But like I said, I went professional. Yeah, I know, Jen. It's fine. I get it. But I feel like I should at least warn y'all that if you're going to go through his catalog, that's should be on the bottom of the list with so many other awesome things to watch, like all the Candyman movies, including, spoiler alert, but this is really awesome. They did a reboot a couple years back, and it's good. And he's in it, and it's very cool how he's in it. So I do recommend that. So, and Jen, I didn't realize, Chris told me you are coming here from the UK just to go to the Dallas convention. So I want to wish you very safe travels. Thank you so much. I know you guys are going to be wearing my shirts. So I'm getting represented in Dallas, even though I can't be there. So thank you for that. Thank you for that, guys. I really love the fact that I'm not going to be there. My shirts are and my tote bag is, and like I said, I'm gonna get my hats added to the store. They have just been really busy but they had a lot going on with the Voyager document. Punkarmy.net is amazing, as you guys all know. They don't just do my stuff. Well, safe travels, Jen. Fly in today. Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're a little ahead, just a little bit ahead of us. In fact, isn't it kind of late there for you? Isn't it like 2 or 3 in the morning now that I'm thinking about it? Yeah, so anyway, that's my merch store run by punkarmy.net. They are fantastic. They do all the Be Kind merch for Chase Masterson. You should just look at all the incredible merch they do for so many incredible people. They did and they did all the merch for all the printed merch, the t-shirts and all that. For the Voyager documentary, if you see something that says "To the Journey," that's them. So anyway, so I'm gonna have them add the hats, but right now it's just the tote bag and the shirts, but I'm gonna have them add the hats. And I'm thinking about doing some Patreon specific merch. So if you're a patron and there's something like kind of cool or funky that you can think of that you'd like to see merch wise, let me know, because I might just do a secret store for my patrons. Maybe. Haven't decided yet. Fingers crossed the shirts supposed to get here Wednesday. I have faith. I have all the faith of the heart that Chris is going to get the shirts and you guys are going to be able to represent. Oh, you're in Dallas now. Oh, I get it. It would be 3 a.m. at home, but I'm in Dallas now. Well, I'm glad you're here, Jen, and I'm glad you can join. I'm glad you can join. That's what I like about doing like the live broadcasts from the conventions. I'm on at different times than 10 o'clock at night. So some people who aren't insomniacs can join. So that's awesome. Oh, hold on a second, guys. I should probably mute my phone. Okay, there we go. So anyway, that's so awesome that you're here and that you're safe. And I hope you have a fantastic time in the States while you're here. And maybe someday we can get you to Vegas, because Vegas is the ultimate. Vegas is absolutely the ultimate. But don't forget, Chris, you have to say hi to Connor and Dominic. You have to wear my shirt. You know, I don't think they'll be mad if you're not wearing a Decon Chamber shirt. But you should go over with my shirt and say hi. And let them know I say hey. And don't forget to take. Did you get the John Billingsley autograph? I did put it in the mail. I hope you got it. So that you can take that with you too. Let me know. All right. So we went Tony. Now we can talk. Does anybody have any questions about Star Trek New Jersey? Like I said, unlike the other conventions, they decided to do this one at the Meadowlands Convention Center. I think I like, and I say this all the time, but it's so true. I like hotel conventions so much better. They're more intimate. Chances of you casually bumping into a celebrity or seeing, or just, it's higher, which is nice as long as you don't, go over the top and bother them. But it's just not like John Billingsley will hang out with people at the bar or in the restaurant or whatever. There are some celebrities that don't mind like just chilling out, and hanging with the fans. So when you have a hotel convention, hi, Jean. Oh, no apologies. So glad you're here. Good to see you. So I do like the hotel conventions better, especially Trek Long Island, but we're talking about creation right now. We can talk about Trek Long Island soon. But this one wasn't bad. The Meadowlands Convention Center is nice. My hotel was literally right across the street. It was so easy to get to. And like you guys saw, there are people walking past. I was waving at people. I can't believe I missed seeing people. It wasn't that big. And there's people that are posting, oh, yeah, Star Trek New Jersey was great. I'm like, how did I miss seeing you? What kills me is I was standing right next to Ian Spelling. He was talking to Dave Sapone from 455 Films. And I'm like, I think that's Ian, but we're only Facebook friends. And I don't I don't know if I've ever talked to him, and I didn't want to be wrong, and it turns out it was, so it was really funny. Because I Facebooked at him today, but it's just you guys. If this is what I will say, if creation is coming anywhere near you, and even if you can only go for a day, if we want these, I call them satellite conventions because I think of like STLV obviously is like the home base. So if we want these satellite conventions to continue, the only way that they can continue is if the vendors do well and if creation does well and it makes them worth their while to come back. I know that they're testing out some other places next year. San Francisco is a return because San Francisco kicked it all off. I'm trying really hard to figure out if I can do San Francisco. So San Francisco, they're definitely doing again. San Francisco worked for them. And that's another great hotel. Everything's in the hotel, which is great because it makes it really easy to go up to your room, change your clothes, and come down. Like if you're a cosplayer and you want to get out of your cosplay or switch costumes, the Hyatt by the airport is fantastic. It's a great, it's got a cozy little restaurant. It's got a really great bar. It's a really good convention. It's a really nice, small, intimate convention area. So you don't have to really hike too far to get anything. And like I said, I'm hoping to be there again. Last year I went without a table. I just went and I just wore my shirt and for myself. This year I'm hoping to get a table. There were, not counting I don't count creation. Creation's always there to vend their stuff. Not counting creation's table. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe 10 to 12 vendors, give or take, Jen, I think. Yeah, there weren't that many vendors actually. But like I said, I was sitting between two really talented vendors. Jody and I, that's what I meant to do. I meant to grab her earring. I got an earring from Jody. I'll wear it. I'll either take a picture of it or I'll try and remember to wear it next week. I bought an earring from Jody that was fantastic. Let's see. Chris. Curious if they're rethinking the regional ones. I was on their website tonight and the Florida and Virginia shows are no longer on the calendar. It's entirely possible. It's also possible that maybe they couldn't get enough celebrities interested, or I don't know, or the venues fell through. There are so many reasons why conventions cancel. Oh, thank you. Cheers. Oh, is it raining up where you are, Jean? It was raining when I drove home. There are reasons that the webmaster, honestly, it could be an honest mistake. They did an update and something fell off that wasn't supposed to. So I don't know. I don't think they're rethinking it. I'd like to think that they're going to give it a little more of a go than just this year, and they'll kind of see where it goes. But like I said, if any of these are coming anywhere near you and you have a chance to even go for a day, definitely go, because the more people that go, obviously, the better it is, and the more chances that they will keep doing this. I think it's just going to be a hard road to come back to after being gone for so long. Because I mean, the last satellite any sort of Trek themed event they did was the Sci-Fi Summit, which was right after COVID. So it was at 2021. They did a New Jersey Sci-Fi Summit, which is great because it's the first time I ever got to see Anthony Rapp sing, believe it or not. Yeah, I hear you. I wish I could go into hibernation myself, John. You're just lucky that it's raining, honestly, because there are massive wildfires all over the Northeast, like all over my little corner of the world. There was one couple nights before I left. There was one, and when I came home, I could smell it. There was one not too far away when I was coming home. In fact, my mom told me my sister called her to say that she had heard that there was a fire in my township and wanting to know if the house was okay because I wasn't here. My cats were. So, but my mom always keeps an eye on those things, and I was fine, and the house was fine. I have a Ring doorbell, and it's got that neighborhood thing. I have a feeling I would have gotten 12 different notifications if the fires were getting anywhere near my neighborhood. Thankfully not. I hope nobody's homes were damaged. But yeah, it's been dry here. It was raining a little bit when I left yesterday, but nothing really major. So it's been pretty dry here. So I get how depressing it is, John, but be thankful, because where it's dry, there's a lot of California's having the same problem with wildfires. So as depressing it is, John, that's how I would look at it, is that at least your forests are safe. And as y'all know, I got Jonathan Frakes to smile. I talked to him for 2 seconds, because you know what I always say, do not interrupt somebody when they're walking somewhere. I happened to practically bump into him, and I said, Jonathan, really quickly, I have a show. I'm here with a booth. I'd like you to have some mints. And he said, thank you. And that was it. But I did make him smile. Gates McFadden and I traded tales of tuxedo cats. We both agree tuxedo cats are mouthy. I don't have my foot out of the bed in the morning, and Reed is already meowing at me, and he's meowing at me because he wants breakfast. He knows the routine, doesn't stop him from meowing at me before I'm out of bed. So, and Chase, Gates has a tuxedo cat named Rudy that she's talked about before. So gave Gates some mints. The mints are a fantastic in. I'm telling you, the mints are a fantastic in. Like I said on the show the other day, Brent Spiner had Dick Van Dyke stories that I got to hear, because we had a conversation about Night Court and how, no worries, Nancy, glad to see you. About how much I admired John Larroquette and his physicality with his comedy, and I likened him to Dick Van Dyke. And Brent said he can't sing. I said, yeah, but the physicality of his comedy is very similar to Dick Van Dyke's. So we had a whole Dick Van Dyke conversation, and I love Dick Van Dyke. So that was worth the standing and waiting in line. I couldn't get Terry yesterday, but I did talk to her at the very end of the convention. And like I said, I'm just working on getting people. You saw, if you tuned in, I think it was the first day, Derek Mackey came over and said hi to everybody. We're going to work on scheduling Derek for an episode. He's going to have a major new client announcement, and he said it's big, so he's agreed to come on the show. Elias from Discovery has agreed. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce his last name right now. He and I are going to be talking about when he can come on his show. It's just so hard to know. You ask all these people, you get some contact information, and then you need to take a break. Like the instinct to email everybody and reach out. Oh yeah, when you're coming on, got to take a breath. Chris is going to be coming on the show. Chris and I have been talking. He had a fantastic idea that he came up with. He went to, what was it? SpaceCon? What was the other? You're going to compare creation events to SpaceCon. And I think that's a great idea, because every convention is different. Every convention has pros and cons. So Chris is going to be a guest on the show. I just need to, I'm already talking to John Billingsley. I have a topic that I'm going to have John come on and talk about. So as soon as SpaceCon, yep. So Chris is going to come on and compare SpaceCon to a creation event after he goes to his creation event this weekend. So I think that's a fantastic idea. A really long time ago, I actually interviewed a friend of mine that lives in the UK, because we compared UK events to American events, because he's over here for STLV almost every year. So I think that'll be great. I'd love to hear a compare and contrast on that. So Chris is going to be a guest very soon. Like I said, I got to get with John Billingsley about when he can come on. Talking to Kitty and Armin. So fingers crossed we'll be able to make that work too, because I would love to have them on. We were supposed to have them on for the Pan Can thing, and it didn't work out. So I'm going to have them on to talk about about a new play that they're opening at the theater. So that's going to be happening soon. And like I said, I am just trying to fill up my guest card, so you guys have more people to talk to besides me. And like I said, San Francisco's on the hopeful list. I already put my room aside for the Rio. So STLV, of course, is going to be happening. Just a matter of, so I got the room. Next is the flight and the booth. I was hoping after the elections, maybe the prices would drop a little bit. So I'll have to go look and see what American has to say, because I used up all my points to go to the Hollywood show. So I have to start building my my American points back up. So a lot of dining out. American has a great dining program where you can link your credit cards to the American dining program, and then whenever you go to one of the restaurants that participates, you actually, besides when you pay for your food, you get miles, which I think is fantastic, because who doesn't eat, right? Except that this diner that I used to go to all the time that was on the list pissed me off. I got in a fight with their management, so haven't been back since, which really sucks, because that's their bars where karaoke is. So I'm really rusty on karaoke. I need to find new karaoke so I can be in good voice for Vegas. I did sing in San Francisco last year too. So, and every time you sing with Connor and Dominic, you get laid, because I got laid. I got this one in San Fran, and I got another one when I was in Vegas, and we were sitting, me and John and Connor were sitting at the Hollywood show, and I said something, and I'm like, well, I got laid by Connor twice. And John just had this look on his face. It was priceless. It was priceless. I made Connor had to explain it was the Hawaiian type. But if you guys have any more questions about STLV, like I said, it was better on vendors than the Sci-Fi Summit. The Sci-Fi Summit was at a different location and sucked with vendor. It really sucked on vendors. And it also was not in the best location for hotels. That's the other thing. The Meadowlands Convention Center has a bunch of hotels within walking distance of the convention center. Besides the host hotel, like I said, I stayed right, like literally throw a rock across the street. But the host hotel, which was a Hyatt property, was also within walking distance. It was just a little bit further. And there were a couple of Marriott properties that were in walking distance. So, and it's a bus ride from New York. Everybody was talking about how they could take the 320 bus in from New York in half an hour and be at the convention center, which I'm sure is another reason why they didn't go back up to Parsippany, which Creation's been known to do with some of their other conventions, which is a hike and a half in the middle of nowhere. And you have to commit to being there for the whole weekend. You have to get a hotel room. It is not someplace you can commute to. Whereas the Meadowlands, like I said, it's a half an hour on the bus from the city. It's a great way to have people that just want to come in for the day, and then they can get on the bus. Autograph questions. All right, let's go. Did the actors have photos at their tables that you can choose for them to sign? The answer to that is, with Creation, this is how it goes. Look at the website. Anybody that is listed as signing in the vendor room, which does include Connor and Dominic, anybody listed as signing in the vendor room, no, wait, hold on. Anybody that's listed as signing in the vendor room has their own photos. If they are a ticketed autograph session through Creation, which means Creation says autographing Saturday and a price, those are the ones that you need to bring something for them to sign. Any of the actors in the vendors room will have something to sign. Anybody that is signing is ticketed and signing through Creation, those are the ones that you have to bring something to sign. Usually, and you know what? I didn't look, to be honest with you. I didn't look, but I know in Vegas, they offer 8x10s of the actors to purchase at the convention. I don't think I saw them in New Jersey. I saw shirts. I don't think I saw a table with 8x10s. So yeah, I know it's confusing. So if somebody is listed as signing through Creation, and if you bought a ticket, Chris, my suggestion would be go online, find a good picture, and print it out at home. Because I don't know if Creation's going to be selling 8x10s in Dallas, like they do in STLV. So yeah, if you bought a ticket for somebody, print something out or bring something. I will tell you, none of my Enterprise autographs are on 8x10s. I had something different for all of them to sign. I have an Eagle Moss NX01 model. The only time it's been out of the box was for Anthony Montgomery to sign it. I had a commissioned piece that I got Connor and Dominic to sign. A friend of mine did. Linda Park signed. I found a copy of an old Star Trek magazine. She was on the cover. She signed that. And I got John Billingsley to sign this little pouch that a friend of mine, I knew a vendor, her name's Martha, and she's a seamstress, and she made these great little pouches. And there was a pouch with these little almost Weeble-y looking characters from all, and Phlox was on it. So I got Billingsley to sign it. And I spent money and bought a TV guide with Scott Bakula and Jolene Blaylock's signature on it. So that's the only complete cast autograph I have. I've met all but 2 of them, and they're all on something completely unique. So I know it's only a few days to the convention, Chris, but yeah, if you got a ticket for somebody, just go on the internet, find something, print it out. Chances are they'll sign it. You just need to get some 8x10 glossy paper and print it out, and they'll sign it. Or if there's a vendor that's selling something, Connor signed, because Connor's awesome. Connor, I now have 2 Hallmark Christmas ornaments of Commander Tucker, and he signed one of the boxes. And I know that there was a vendor selling Hallmark ornaments in Jersey. I don't know if Mark's going to be in Dallas, but I'm sure there's definitely going to be vendors in Dallas that have cool stuff that you can pick up. So even if Creation's not selling pictures, you might still be able to find something. Chris, do you live close enough? Are you going back and forth every day from home to the convention, or are you staying somewhere near the convention? Because that could make the difference too. You go Friday, you see what's what, you go home if you want to print something out or whatever. I didn't even look to see who's going to Dallas besides the usual suspects that they have listed. But yeah, so like I said, just please keep going to these satellite conventions. Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Oh, geez. Okay. All right. So yeah, not commuting. You're going for the weekend. Gotcha. Worth every minute. Trust me. You're going to have a fantastic time. An in-person autograph included with my ticket. Just trying to think here. Chances are that's somebody that you're going to need to bring something for. Sometimes it depends on who it is. Sometimes those in-person autographs, usually the majority of those in-person autographs are the people through Creation, and you are going to need to bring something. Usually. Lately they've thrown in a couple of vendor room actors as well. As long as I get the one you mailed me, I'll have Connor and Don taken care of. Yeah, exactly. You should get it. I put it in the mail last week. I really hope you get it in time. So I'm going to feel really bad if you don't get it. So, but anyway, yeah. So Chris, I would look at your list of who I'm assuming Creation told you who they are. So like I said, just look at the list of who you're getting, and then go back on the Dallas website and see who's listed as vendor room and who's listed as autograph at a specific time. And that'll give you an idea. And then you definitely need to make sure that you download the app, the Creation app, and check the schedule to make sure that you don't miss somebody's autograph, because when they're signing through Creation, they have specific times, and those are the only times that they're going to be available. So, yeah. Any other questions about New Jersey, or if anybody has any? Does anybody else have Tony Todd memories? Like I said, I've shared mine. Just that being a fellow Patriots fan, we've joked around about that as well. Because when he was here, I think it was the year that the Patriots. No, it wasn't the year that the Patriots beat the Eagles. It was something. I don't remember, but Tony was getting ribbed by Eagles fans when he was here, and I had to kind of help and jump to his defense. Yeah, I know, creation newbies. I am more than happy to help out the creation newbies, since I have done creation from all angles. I have attended, I have worked for creation, I have been a vendor now. So yeah, I have all the skinny on creation, and I really have a lot of respect for creation, and I'd like to work more closely with them in the future. I'm hoping I can try and make that happen. There were some other people. I invited Melissa Longo to come back on the show. She has some fantastic new merch you guys all need to check out. So I've invited her to come back. I've invited Ryan Husk to come back to talk. He said, but he's such a busy guy, but I'm hoping I can get him back. Sirach said to talk to him next month. So I would love to get Sirach back. He's been doing some incredible stuff too. All since the last time you guys saw all these fantastic people, they've all had new things happening in their lives. So I want you to get a chance to talk to them about all the new stuff that's going on. And Robert, was he not amazing? Was he not like just the coolest, chillest, sweetest person? Yeah, she is. She's expanding. She's got these really cool Vulcan salute shirts now, and they're her hand. It's a tracing of her hand and some really, really cool t-shirt designs. So they're really awesome. They're really awesome. And the actress Melissa, I want to say Smith, who played Gul Dukat's daughter on Deep Space Nine, was there, and she was sporting those t-shirts, and she looked fantastic. The t-shirts look really good under a blazer. Yeah, of course, all very unique. That's what I love. I am so not the crafty person, so I have so much respect for the people like Jody and people like Misty, the ladies on either side of me who do all this amazing work. Yes, I have one of her binary bracelets. You saw it yesterday. I have one. I have one of the first ones. It's a wraparound, and it says Star Trek Enterprise in binary code in purple and black. I need to get another one. I have an anklet. She made me an anklet, but my ankles have swelled since she gave it to me. Age. Ugh. So I don't wear it as much anymore. But yeah, she's bringing the binary bracelets back, and she's I know for a fact that she's looking to do another specific silhouette shirt as soon as I think she can figure out what the word is that she's going to put on it. But that's not my story to tell. So it's going to be really cool when she does it, though. But it's not my story to tell. But she's coming out with some more stuff. And we all know that if I wasn't here, I would be in New York watching the Voyager documentary. And I was trying to get clearance to say something about the Voyager documentary, but Dave Zappone is obviously too busy actually doing the Voyager. No, I texted Dave this morning. Because I was hoping between like I'd hope if I gave him 12 hours, he would be able to get back to me with an answer. But since he has not given me an answer, I can't release the information about upcoming stuff for the Voyager doc. As soon as he does, though, I will let you guys know. So hopefully by next week, I'll be able to give you some information about the Voyager doc. Dave, what is he saying about Melissa? Oopsie shirts that she pivots into something different if it's not how she originally wanted it. Yes, she's just so awesome that way. Oh, did you? Oh my God, you saw it out in LA? Yeah, I heard it was fantastic. I was really tempted. I was really, really tempted. Hold on a second. Robert. Yes, he is. I tried to get him to come to our booth and sit in the command chair, but his schedule was full. We did talk for a few. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry that didn't happen. That would have been really cool. He's great. I'm sure if he had had time, he would have done it. LA premiere. Yeah, exactly. What I really want to do is go to London for the London premiere, but that's not going to happen. Of course, Dave, as soon as I get clearance, you know me, I don't say anything without clearance. So as soon as I get clearance, I will let you guys all know about the Voyager documentary. I can't wait. I cannot wait to see it. I know. I don't like Voyager, but you know what? I know everybody involved, and I can't wait to see it because I love supporting all of the fantastic people that I know in Trek. So of course I'm gonna want to go see the Voyager documentary. Oh, just rub it in then, Jen. Just rub it in. Yeah, see, you could have stopped off in New York. Exactly. And then just popped over to Dallas. That would have been awesome. I hope that I helped with some ticket sales because I did have that sign on my booth. So I do hope a couple of last minute people got tickets and went because they had Kate Mulgrew, they had Robin Curtis, they had Terry Farrell, and Ethan Phillips were all going to be there to and when I went to go see the What We Left Behind documentary at in New York, they were having some technical difficulties. Ethan Phillips got up and did a stand-up set. So if they were having any technical difficulties, I'm sure that's why they wanted Ethan, because he's a great crowd pleaser when he's doing his stand-up. But yeah, I was thinking, is there a way that I could spend an extra night up in Secaucus? I have a computer with me. I can just work from here and then go to the Voyager documentary. And then I looked, and it turned out that the Voyager documentary, the space where they're holding it, is right next to a subway stop for the 1 train. And the 1 train happens to be the one that you pick up right outside the Staten Island ferry. So I would have only had to go to Staten Island, pick up the ferry, which is my favorite way to get in the city anyway, and just sit on the 1 train and take it all the way up to the premiere. And that was this close, but I did have to work today. And in order to make it for a 7 o'clock show, I would have probably had to leave around 3 just for traffic's sake. And because the ferry only runs every half an hour. November 21st was my grandfather's birthday. November 21st is why am I not seeing 16, 17? Oh, it's next Thursday. It's a week from Thursday. It's a good date. But yeah, I would have loved to. I need to get back to the UK one of these days. It's a bucket list. Definitely need to get back to the UK. I have been there. Saw Phantom of the Opera in London, actually, which was freaking awesome. Love to get over there and see an Andrew Keats play. I follow him on all the socials. Anyway, guys, so that about wraps it up. If you guys don't have any Tony Todd memories to share or any other questions about the convention, like I said, next week could be Chris. Chris could be here next week. We get to meet him in person. If not next week, then very soon after. Ed, was filling us in on the LA premiere. Nana, yeah, I saw Raymond was showing me pictures. I knew Dominic was there. Nana, Bob, Garrett, Martha Hackett, who played Seska, who was also on Days of Our Lives. Brandon, Rick, Lolita, of course, Lolita. Yeah, that was amazing. That's why some of the people came in late to Jersey, because they were all catching red eyes. So yeah, yeah, I would have liked to have gone to either premiere, but yeah, the LA premiere was literally the day before New Jersey opened. So there were some very tired people coming in, including Lolita. Yep, Robert Beltran was there. Yeah, yep. So I'm sure it was absolutely an amazing night. And like I said, as much as I'm not a big Voyager fan, I do want to support the people that worked so hard to put it together. So guys, thank you so much as always for hanging out with me on this. Of course, Tim was there. Thank you so much for hanging out with me on what for some is a very rainy Monday evening. Thanks again, as always, for hanging out with me. Like I said, next week we could be talking to Chris. We could be talking to John Billingsley. I guess you're just going to have to stick around and find out who is going to be joining me next week. But I have a feeling I will not be alone. And until I see you all again, please make sure to live long and prosper.
Listening to the NX70